With 2021 coming to a close, today I'd like to recap the year and share my thoughts on what I think 2022 will bring for the Greater Moncton real estate market. So let's first look at 2021. When I did a similar video last year, recapping 2020 and sharing my thoughts on 2021, I talked about the shortage of inventory, the effects of COVID on our local market, and the surge of out-of-province buyers relocating to our area in search of a more balanced, relaxed lifestyle. And I also spoke about expecting more of the same for 2021. Well, it turns out we did see more of the same this past year, only at a higher volume. Inventory levels remained very low compared to the number of buyers. So the seller's market trend continued through the year. If we look at residential numbers by units, there were a little over 600 more homes listed in 2021 versus 2020, which was a definite positive, but 91% of all residential listings still sold. And out of the roughly 4,300 homes listed in 2021, over 2,700 of them sold in less than 30 days. So that gives you a pretty good idea of the speed of the market. If you're a stats type of person and would like in-depth information, just send me a message and I'd be happy to send you a complete report. The seller's market also continued pushing prices up with a 27% increase in the overall average price in the residential category. Now, looking ahead to 2022, what do I see happening? Well, I see more of the same. I do see inventory levels increasing slightly, but not enough to supply buyer demand. Predictions that we'll see rising interest rates, that may help balance things a little bit, but personally, I don't think a quarter point here and a half point there will have much of an effect in the foreseeable future. I think we'll continue to see prices we've not seen in our area. In fact, the Greater Moncton area has been mentioned to be among the highest predicted price increases in 2022 at as much as 20%. The average expected increase nationally is around 9%. So if you've been on the fence about buying and are waiting for the market to slow down and prices to drop, I don't see it happening. I truly believe we've set a new bar. Going back to the beginning of 2020, for someone who held off or was holding off until the market cools, to buy the same house that was, say, $250,000 back then, you'd have to spend approximately $400,000 to get that same house today. And if predictions are right, it could be as much as $480,000 by the end of 2022. If you're considering selling in 2022, depending on your situation, it could be a great financial decision. When I say depending on your situation, what I mean is if you're considering downsizing or at a stage in your life where owning a home is more work than you'd like, selling in 2022 will likely be a very successful financial decision, especially if you've been building equity in your home for several years. CREA has a great tool called the HPI, or Home Price Index, where they use historical data going back to 2005 to give you all sorts of information. According to the HPI, if you've owned your home for anywhere in the range of 10 to 15 years in the Greater Moncton area, its value has pretty well doubled, and maybe even more, depending on the price point, upgrades, and which neighborhood you're in. The other situation is if you need to sell and buy. This is a little different. You won't be in the same position to fully take advantage of the seller's market. You will most likely sell high, certainly higher than a few years ago, but then you'll also have to buy high. So it's more of a lateral move in this case. That said, in this situation, I don't think there's necessarily a right or wrong time to make a move. Since you're selling and buying, home values will affect you on both sides. So the cost of moving up, the difference, will remain relatively similar. Just a quick side story from 2021. I did have a family who wanted to move up, so we listed their home, which, like many others, sold relatively quickly and for top dollar with multiple offers. But we also managed to find a hidden gem that needed some very minor work to make it their own. Because of that minor work needed and the fact that it was also being sold privately, the home had been sitting on the market for quite a while. So we were able to negotiate a great deal. So because they were open to different options, they managed to take advantage of the market to sell and still got a great deal to buy. Now, I can't promise this is going to happen every time, but this one was definitely a success story. So there you have it. That's my recap on 2021 and what I see happening in 2022. If you have any questions or are looking for advice on buying or selling in the Greater Moncton area, by all means, send me a message and I'd be happy to help. Thanks for watching and have a great day.